about the young guys. Any surprises in what you've seen coming in? Something you didn't expect?
Well, with Joseph and Landon, those were the two that went through spring training. And I was very pleased with both of them. I thought they picked up on the defense well. I was really, with Joseph, I wasn't surprised, because I recruited him. But to see him come in and be physical and be able to hit and tackle the way he can, I was glad to see that. And then with Landon, the thing I saw about him was his ball skills. And first or second scrimmage, he comes across from the middle of the field and makes an interception that was just, it was just outstanding. I think he made another one in another scrimmage in the stadium that was outstanding. So, to see the things that I saw in recruiting transfer on the field, really excited about that. Now Ray Thornton, he couldn't go through spring. He had an injured shoulder, but he was able to come out the second half of spring, and to see his footwork and his speed and what he's done this summer, he's an extremely big and fast, athletic kid. So excited about him. And then Jalen just got here, so I really hadn't had a chance. I know what he can do, but hadn't had a chance to really see him in a competitive setting.
In years past, the leadership has probably come from the defensive line. Do you feel like that leadership may come from the back end this year?
Talking about the defensive line, those guys that's a different breed. Those guys were unbelievable leaders and unbelievable players for our team. And I think that they kind of laid the groundwork and a blueprint for our team, for our players on how to lead. And it needs to come from the back end this year. We've got four guys that have started at safety. When you're talking about Tanner, Kayvon, Nolan, and Denzel, they've all started and been big major contributors. Now I want to see them, take that blueprint that those guys have laid out and lead. Of course, in their own way, but in the same direction. And I think the leadership does need to come from those guys.
Are you one who values maybe a guy like a Kayvon or a Tanner kind of being that coach in the field, that maybe this year you'll maybe push more of that responsibility?
I think so, and I think that they'll gain confidence with that. As much as we give them, as much as they hear this from the coaches and their teammates are looking for that leadership from them, they'll take that role on. I mean, it's just natural. Last year you had those alpha males on the D line, and that was their role, and they took it and ran with it. And I'd love to see our safeties take that role on. They're definitely in position to do that, and they need to have the confidence and to do it.
Kayvon seems like he's a natural at that, just from the time that we've gotten to spend with him in interviews. Do you see that in the meeting rooms? And
Absolutely. Kayvon wants to be a leader, and that's what he wants to do. And that's part of the reason why he was able to get on the field so early. He came in here, he learned the defense as a freshman, then was able to start as a nickel. He wants to be that leader. He wants to show these guys the way to go. And as his position coach, I need to channel all of that leadership that I know into him so that he can do it. But he's definitely an alpha, and he's a guy that wants to lead the team.
You've had a year under your belt, coaching safeties, with the 10th coach role. How much more development do you think the safety's been able to get being coached just safeties instead of safeties and cornerbacks?
Well, I think it's tremendous when you're talking about. You're talking about four positions back there when you're coaching the corners and the safeties. You got a boundary corner, you got a boundary safety, you got a field safety, you got a field corner. I think it's hard to give them all the individual attention that they need. I think bringing on a guy to help Mike with and do the safeties, and then he can put all his focus on the corners, and I can put all my focus on the safeties. I think it's made a huge difference. Now, I wasn't here before then, but you go, if you just look at the film and you see the production that's taking place back there, I think you see a ton of production and a lot less mistakes, at the safety position as well as the corner position, because those guys are getting a lot more focused coaching, a lot more focused attention.
I know for many years you obviously went through preseason camp with a high-level high school program, but last year you got to go through a preseason camp, back in the college ranks. Lessons learned of getting guys through the grind, getting yourself through the grind, and again, every day that passes, you're that much closer to the opener. Do you kind of have a mental clock, even though everything's very organized for the program, but that you're, in week one, I need to see guys make this kind of leap. And
Well, let's go back. I'm gonna back up because you go through spring training, okay, in college, then you go through spring training in high school. You get to the summer as a high school coach, you are the strength coach, you are the position coach, that you're doing everything, as a head coach. So from the time spring ends, you have 1 week off, and then right after Memorial Day, you're back in it as a high school coach, and your focus becomes weight room and then 7-on-7 tournaments, and you're grinding it out all summer. Then you get luckily the state comes in and mandates a week off during the 4th of July week. So as a head coach, you get that 4th of July week off, and then you come back. As a college coach, you grind it out, you go through spring training, then boom, you're on the road or in the air recruiting. Boom, you get back, and then you're in the camp season. Okay, so then you go through 2 weeks of camp, and then you're off for like 4 weeks, which is nice. You get a little bit of time with your family, and then boom, then you're back in it. So it's a different kind of mindset. And to answer your question, it has been an adjustment to figure out, how to channel that, what I do with those 4 weeks. Our grad assistants and our student assistants do a great job of putting together books. I've got the first 3 game books of tendencies and everything, so I can take that for 4 weeks, and I can go in there and I can put tips and reminders in for my players, and I can really focus on the football aspect of it, which is a little different than in high school. I can really put my focus, and being a position coach, I can put it into those safeties in particular and what they need to see and what they need to be prepared for. Then I can go back, I can look at some of the things we did not do well during the season, and then I can put together tapes of improvement. This is what we need to improve in cover 4, cover 2, cover 3. We put that all together, and these guys are so mature at this level. They're going to come in on their own, and they're going to go through these tapes and through all that stuff, and then we're prepared. We get to the first week of fall camp, man, and it's go, and we're already rolling right into it. The grind of the bowl game, the playoffs, and all that is different.
Sure.
It's different.
Did you hit a wall?